and I'm a maths teacher. And being up here tonight, it's really funny. It's almost exactly like my day job. Like, look at it, you're all in rows. I mean, let's forget the polls for a minute. I'm standing up at the front, supposed to entertain you. There's you two flirting. There's you over there, falling asleep. And you two at the back, having a chat, taking a few selfies. Don't think I haven't spotted you. And let me warn you now, if that continues, you're going to have to move right up here next to me, so I can keep an eye on you. Always get troublemakers at the back. Now, I think kids these days, they get such a bad rep. You know, you hear they're so rude, so disrespectful. And I mean, it's not like that where I teach. I've heard about some schools where the kids tell teachers to fuck off. But in my school, they say to you, fuck off, miss. Now, I'm going to delve into something from my teacher toolkit tonight. And that is that I'm going to teach you something about sex. Now, I am lucky enough to teach horny 14-year-old boys sex education. And it's actually funny because the first class I ever did, I went in all fresh-faced, eager to impress them, do something fun, and I was like, oh, well, why don't we just brainstorm on the board all the different, let's get rid of all the awkwardness, we'll brainstorm all the different words for penis. And wow, they totally aced that task. I actually don't think they've done anything as well since. But like, we were there for hours. It was like, they came up with all sorts. The Empire State Building, the Eiffel Tower, the monster slug. And so I came back after break and I was like, let me just sort my classroom out, you know, get everything, clean down the board. Only to find that this fantastic melange of descriptive words for cock had been etched on my board in permanent marker. Not just that, but the next day we were expecting a visit from the lovely Ofsted, which gave us just one other classroom to subtly guide them away from. Oh, Inspector, would you like to come over here and look at the lovely playground furnishes? No, not that playground where Robert Burnage was flashing his arse, but this playground over here. We painted it especially for your visit. So anyway, coming back from that, I did tell you that I was going to teach you something about sex. And what I've noticed from my brief stint in stand-up comedy is that sex and jokes are very similar. They both rely on a huge amount of build-up, you know, setting the scene, creating the tension, before getting towards the climax, which might or might not be a massive disappointment. So it's quite well acknowledged that teachers find it hard to commit to romantic relationships. And I'd like to apologise to my boyfriend who's in the audience tonight, because I'm actually having a passionate, all-consuming affair, the object of which is known collectively as Class 11C. Now, surely that must be the case when you wake up in the middle of the night worrying about Ryan. Now, Ryan is the cool kid with the diamante earring, sideways quiff. Like, he thinks he's a bit of a hard guy, but he actually secretly comes to me for extra help. Worrying about whether Ryan is dealing drugs, because you smell this really strong whiff of weed from his bag. But you can't really have that conversation with him without admitting you know what weed smells like. But you can't really tell the headmaster because he might not be quite as understanding, and it might ruin Ryan's life. So, or another thing that might make me sit upright at night is thinking about Chloe. Now, Chloe is like the cool diva chick. She's a bit of an, she pretends to be a bit of an airhead, but secretly she's desperate to be a nurse. And you're kind of worried, I wake up worrying about Chloe because she was looking sad today. And I desperately hope that her dad hasn't been beating her again. Or it could just be that her fake tan had spilled all over her hands and made them streaky. Now, believe me, no teenage girl wants that. So something that's come from my relationship with 11C is that it drives me fucking crazy how out of touch our education system is. Now, there's not that many things that are similar to how things were 50 years ago. Like, David Attenborough had hair then. Rolf Harris touched children in an appropriate way. And back then, we used to tell foreigners that they weren't welcome in Britain. How things have moved on. But not our trusty education system. Like, it's almost as if the internet never happened. It's like Michael Gove, and I know he's long gone, but bad ghosts are hard to shake off. It's like Michael Gove and his cronies at the Department for Education were like, hey there, internet. Yeah, we get that you're a thing. We get that you're possibly the most amazing resource known to mankind. We get that you've totally fundamentally changed the way we relate to things in the world, and that you're free, but you're not welcome here. And then the internet, and I'll do my best impression of Tim Berners-Lee, is like, well, you can just fuck off then. I mean, you can just fuck right off. Like, I've got plenty of other places to be, like pretty much every place on the planet. So yeah, the trigonometry we teach is still exactly the same as it was 50 years ago. And people who learnt it then have still never had to draw an isosceles triangle, use Pythagoras' theorem, or solve a quadratic equation. I mean, how many of you guys had to do that? And to be honest, when the fuck would a computer not do a better job than any of you? I mean, it makes me dread the question that Ryan and Chloe ask me almost every day. Miss, why do we need to know this? I stammer nervously. Well, just in case you want to become an engineer or an architect. And they look at me nonplussed. I mean, they're some of the smartest kids I know, but they've never heard of those jobs. And that's because we just don't have time to teach them the important stuff. We're too busy using those endless hours they spend in school teaching Chloe how to press the sign button on her calculator. I mean, to be honest, it's hard enough to get her to press it at all because of her long, obtuse, rectangular fake nails that are so covered in diamantes they make a disco ball effect on the ceiling. I mean, come to think of it, how does she do anything with those nails? She must never have to do normal things like pick her nose or scratch her bum. It would just be impossible. I mean, the thing is, right? The information is out there now. Ryan and Chloe don't need to know the date of the Battle of Waterloo or the name of Henry VIII's wives. What they do need to know is they need to know the difference between the truth and what is fake news. What is actually real and what is coming out of Donald Trump's orange arse. I mean, come to think of that, do you think his arse is orange? I mean, who knows? Do you think he has that fantastic orange glow all over his body? And do you think he uses the same brand of fake tan as Chloe does? So what we need to teach them is the important things. How to vote, how to pay their taxes, and how long to trim their pubic hair. Okay? So thank you very much. I'd like to thank Ryan and Chloe sat at the back for coming down tonight, and all of you have been a great audience.